Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the Dancers Podcast. And today I have Adi Schwarz with me, which is an old friend of mine. We used to dance together, and Adi went on a journey of choreography in the last few years. So, Adi, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, Maya. Yo, it's so nice to see you face to face, and I'm really happy to be here and to support your initiative and also to just talk. So my name is Adi Schwarz. I'm 23 years old now. I'm a choreographer. I'm a teacher. I'm an artist. Yeah. So I was dancing for 3 seasons with Batsheva Ensemble. This is how I met Maya. After that, I started on my path into choreography, and Maya was there with me as a dancer. Yeah, this is about me. Now I'm on a life with a suitcase, just traveling around the world, presenting my art, doing good stuff.
Which is super amazing and insane to witness from the side, I can tell. But before we dive into where you are right now, I actually want to ask you, how did you start your journey into dancing?
Into dancing or into choreography?
Dancing.
Because actually, well, it's interesting because my journey to dancing was after my journey to choreographing. So since I remember myself, like mamash, you can find videos on like the family computers of me creating dance. You know, first thing, like initiative, and dancing was secondary. So for me, dancing, the journey to dance was to understand with my body what my mind is doing. If that makes sense. But like on the physical aspect, my sister was in folklore, in Israeli folklore, in Misgav, like where I live, my parents live, and she thought that it would be great for me to go there and to dance a bit. And I was like, no, it's for gays, no way. Little did she know, little did I know. But I came and it was like love from first sight. And then I went to an arts high school in Haifa. And then directly from high school, Batsheva Ensemble. And here we are today. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, but it's all about for me like the choreography. It's interesting, like thinking about it now. Yeah.
So at what point did you realize that, like, you did pursue a career as a dancer, right? So I wonder at what point did you finally understand that you want to do choreography and being a dancer is just a tool, a step on the way there?
From the beginning, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think because in high school, I remember like my pieces were not good, but you can ask everyone, the focus for me was not the dance, it was the choreography. I remember there was a friend of mine, Shira, and we were sitting, well, it's a already a story. Um, we were sitting in high school in like one of those like anatomy classes or something like this, and we were talking about like where we want to dance after, and I was like, Batsheva, kibbutz, all of like the companies in Israel, of course. And then she wrote me like we were talking on like notes, like she would write me on a note and we would pass this is how we talked. And she was like, "But Adi, you even want to dance?" And I remember it like broke my heart. Like I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean if you want to dance?" Of course I want to dance. But then I like took it home and I was like, maybe all I want is to do choreography. So the point, I think, I mean, Batsheva was amazing and I really wanted to do it and I really want to be in the physicality, but day one, you remember Batsheva Dancers Create first season of mine. I was an apprentice and I was already doing 2 pieces in Batsheva Dancers Create and it was like, this is the main focus. It was always there. It was really always there. Yeah, so I can't really tell you where was the switch because I think the switch was never there from the first place.
Amazing. And I want to ask because, like, I know you, you're my friend, but you're only 23, okay? And you already presenting work internationally. So, did you always imagine this path for yourself, or it just something that happened?
I did, and it's not from an arrogant place, but um, I trust myself, like I know that I'm good. I always want more, like I want to achieve more. I'm overwhelmed, of course, every time something exciting like this is happening. Uh, right now we are performing Boys in the Sand here in Bern, like I'm recording from Switzerland. Um, and then we go to Italy, and I just came from Germany, and each thing like this is incredible and overwhelming, but I'm also not like I'm also standing behind it. I stand my ground. I know I'm young, but I'm good at what I'm doing. So I'm happy to share my art, but I feel deserved, you know? I don't have like an imposter syndrome.
Where does this confidence come from? Because you said you have a lot of trust in yourself, and that this is not like being arrogant. How do you explain that?
I think I think I'm not going in the street and talking to everyone like I'm the best choreographer. I don't think I'm the best choreographer because art is subjective, but I'm just really trusting, like I'm really standing behind what I'm doing. Like I feel like because I know I'm still learning and I'm still developing my stand on choreography. But for now, with what I do, I feel like I'm already in a point when I'm trusting my instincts. So I don't feel like I need to be shy and apologize for it. I really don't think it's an arrogance thing. Like I don't think I'm a Schwitzer. I don't think I'm a this. Um, but with my art, yeah, I think it's good. And I also feel like if you don't believe your art is good, then what are you doing? Like then change what you're doing. Uh,
100%. Wow.
Yeah, so this is where I stand, I think. I really don't think it's arrogance. I hope I don't come across as an arrogant person, but like if you will know me, you will know I'm not. I'm just confident, and I think everyone should be a little bit more.
Where do you think this confidence comes from? Like, there are a lot of dancers who are struggling with this. So, do you have any advice? Like, what helps you be so confident and trusting?
I think I am early on in my path through this, also as a dancer and also as a choreographer, I kind of decided to let go from the fear of rejection. And this just really opened the door for what's good and not what I miss. Like I get rejections all the time. I will happily show you after my file on my phone, which has all of the screenshots from all of my rejections. Um, but like I save them and it's a capsule on the side, like it's just a little thing behind me. So I don't really give it any place actually in my life, and then I put my attention on what's good, on what's happening, on what's the future, and gives me confidence, like looking at my schedule and being like not thinking, oh, I could have done this residency and this performance, but I'm not, and looking at the schedule and being like, oh, I'm going there and there and there and there, gives you confidence. Yeah, and also again trusting your art. um,
What made you decide to stop waiting for opportunities and start creating your own? Because I remember that when we were dancing in Bacheva Ensemble, you were creating all the time. Like, we used to have workshops by the end of the season when each dancer was creating their own piece, but you were creating all season long.
yeah, I think. again, it's like a calling, like people want to be in the studio as a dancer. I want to be in the studio as a creator. So yeah, like I saw the opportunity. I saw that there are friends, dancers who want to be there and want to be a part of what I'm doing. Like, who am I to say no to a free studio space with the most amazing dancers, you know? So yeah, just kind of like taking opportunities and doing the thing, like not overthinking it. Yeah.
So, what was the first piece that you created that you felt like you finally said to yourself, okay, maybe I can actually like do this for real?
Okay, I feel like every time, you have good questions, Maya.
Thank you.
I feel like every time there is like something that I achieve more. I feel like first year well, I'm so honest. I feel like first year, like when I did a Tia the Alien, like you remember those, like it's really short pieces, but Tia the Alien and Silence is Sexy. I was already like, wow, like I remember I looked at it and I was like, you did it, like you did that. But I think lately now with Boys in the Sand, this is the piece I'm touring with the most. Uh, it really like it's the first time that I look at a piece of mine and I almost cannot believe I made it. You know, I'm really just proud. And also, I actually sometimes forget while I watch it. I forget that I created it. It draws me in so much. Like I am so interested in the piece that I'm forgetting. I'm just in the physicality. I'm looking at the dancers. I'm looking at the piece, and I manage to really forget that it's me. So I think Boys in the Sand is like the first because it's the first production. It's the first organized productions with a big team and supporters and tours. So it's really, yeah, this is
Wow.
like this is the first time that I'm, yeah, just overwhelmed and proud of myself, like beginning to end.
Let's talk a little bit about Boys in the Sun. Like, when did you create it? What was the opportunity? Who are the dancers?
Yes, so Boys in the Sand, it's a trio for three men. It's inspired by the first gay porn movie under the same name. It's a, yeah, really nice, beautiful porn movie. Um, the music is Debussy throughout the film. It's really, really nice and it's cinematic and it's beautiful. And I watched it and I was like, this intimacy, this new thing that is happening there really inspired me. And then I applied for Teatro del Canal. They have production residencies, really well-rounded. And I applied and I got it. And then the
That
team,
was in Madrid, right?
this was in Madrid, yeah. The piece was created in Madrid. And the team is myself, obviously, Angel from Spain, Michele from Italy, Koen from the Netherlands. Then, actually, in 2 days from now, Gerard from Spain is premiering his first performance of the piece. Then we have Charlie from Spain, who is on the light, and Victor from Spain, who is on the music, and so many more collaborators. Dandan on the text, and Nathan on the voice, and yeah, it's really like a full team. And yeah, and I feel like the piece itself is like working on childhood. I went back to childhood and I went to talk about the first things that we experience sexually that we don't really talk about. Like, we all have this like back memory, vague, of sexual um, feelings, maybe sexual
Desires.
activities, even desires. We all have them. We never talk about them. And I was like, let me put it.
Let me talk about it.
Why not?
I have
Yeah,
to ask you, coming up with the idea of using a porn movie as like a influence or inspiration for a dance piece, that's like pretty funky, it's like kind of crazy. How did you feel by applying it? Like,
I was really like, again, because we were talking about like me just not having a fear of rejection, I was like, this is fucking good. Like using a porn movie and such a beautiful porn movie. It was also like the idea was to project the film throughout the dance. Later did I know that it's not a possibility in Spain, like you cannot project porn. But yeah, I was like, again, like I know it's good. So whether you like it or not, I'm gonna just try my best and just put it out there. And it worked. So yeah.
amazing. And also about you said about collaboration and like, when did you understand the power of collaborating with other people? Because it sounds like you surround yourself with a lot of people that are very involved in your arts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that for me, collaborating is about learning. I'm really, really interested about learning all of the aspects that surround the performing arts. Like I'm writing music, I am making costumes, I am doing lights. But with that being said, I know I'm not the best. I know I have what to learn. So I take the people that I'm like, you can teach me that. You can help me with that. I can help you with this. And like this is for me the collaboration, the idea of really learning from someone else, understanding what tools they can give me, what tools I can give them. This is also why it's always, I feel like I'm never clashing with a collaborator because I'm really like, I am open to learn. I take people that I feel like are open to learn from me, and then it really feeds itself. Like I feel like now I can do a light plan for a piece, like on the paper, a technical writer. I am sewing my own costumes. I learned it from Shachaf in Batsheva, like to work with the machine and to understand the mitanut, like the structuring of the garment. Learned it from Shachaf. We made the costume together for Happy Home. Um, Music, like I learned from Victor, who did with me Boys in the Sand, so much about layering tracks, and now I feel like I am able to do it myself. And with that, I also gave back. I feel like, this is for me like the power of collaborating, tools, exchange. Yeah.
Nice. And you actually, like, I wanted to save it for later, but you have mentioned rejection a lot already. So let's talk about rejection. You told me before that you got rejected more than 200 times in the last 2 years. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, I think I love rejections. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm
It
like,
is. It does.
but like every time I get rejection, the fire in me really like flames. I feel like for most people it like dims them down for some reason. For me, it really does the opposite. Yeah, I apply for so many things. Like I feel like on Instagram, because now things are happening on Instagram and people know my name, they think that I'm only doing successful stuff. They don't know the piles of rejection that I get. Um, but yeah, I apply a lot. I get rejected a lot. Sometimes there is a yes, and this is the light in the end of the tunnel. But most of the time, rejection after rejection. Um, but yeah, like it leads me up. Like right now, I went to this choreography competition. I didn't even make it to the finals, and I came back to the hotel. And the same night, I applied for 4 residencies. I was like, they are going to see me succeed way more. Like this was the vibe. So it really leads me up for some reason. Like I love rejection. I love rejections. This is the next
Brilliant.
episode.
Wow. Wow. That's so crazy. That's such a refreshing perspective because I think for so many of us in the dance world, we're like, we get rejected. We immediately dim ourselves, just like you said, like, and you take it and use it as fuel because you have a goal, you know where you want to get, and you say, I don't mind how I get there. I just do whatever the fuck I need, and the doors will open. Like, if not this door, then this wasn't my door. Another door will open.
Definitely. That's the spirit. For me, that's the spirit. This is where it all comes and falls. Because like I also feel like, okay, you know those like 60 years old creators that are already super successful, and then when they're 60 and they're so successful, they will be like, I got so many no's in my year, but like you don't see yourself in them because they are already successful. So I am here to tell you, yes, I am doing my journey right now, and I get rejected all the times. You will not see it because I don't upload to Instagram every rejection I have. But yes, I get rejected probably more than everyone together who is watching this episode. Like rejection is so not talked about, but it's so there. And I feel like the way you take rejection will tell you if you will succeed or not in this field.
Wow, I think this is so strong. Like, this is also for dancers, right? Dancers that listen to this.
Of course. Of
Hmm.
Same thing. You got rejected from an audition, go home and apply for three more. Be like, I will, this director will see me in 3 years and will be like, this is I feel like this is really the whole point of it.
So I want to ask you, was there anything in the past when you started doing choreography that made you doubt yourself? Like maybe it was a feedback that you got from someone, or I don't know, maybe even your friends, your family, whatever.
Okay, family and friends, no, they're biggest supporters. I'm here for my friends, and my family. This is the support. This is where I fall back to. For feedbacks, I feel like the biggest problem for me, it's not a problem, it's like the whole idea is that I'm young. I feel like for some directors, some people in the industry, something is like burning in their ass because I'm too young, in their opinion. Um, but again, like it makes it that way. It's important to say that I feel like it comes across as if nothing penetrates to me. No, I feel sometimes bummed. I feel sad. I feel rejected. Yes, it's about how I come back from it. So I feel like when I hear, for example, about me being young, of course, in the beginning, it makes you like, what do you mean I'm young? Look at my work, Like, it's not related. But then again, it's this like down, but then up. But then I'm like, but the fact that I'm young, this is what I bring. This is what I bring to the table. There is not a lot of young choreographers who are doing what I'm doing. And this is the other topic that I said before that I want to dive in, that I feel like there is um, like a consensus about choreographers should be dancers for years, and then when they finish their career, they can start choreography. And I am saying no to that. Choreography and dance are two different fields. Like they're not different fields, but they're two different approaches and two different mindsets. For me, a good choreographer can be 8 years old, Like a good fashion designer can be 8 years old. You don't need to go through a dance path to be a choreographer. Look at Matt's Egg. He comes from theater. I feel like there is this consensus, and I'm there to be like, the fact that I am young does not say anything about my level of choreography, because the level of my dancing and my experience as a dancer does not match with my possibilities as a choreographer.
Wow, this is amazing. But how do you deal with that? Like, I'm sure there are some rejections that come because you are young. Like, do you feel sometimes the urge to prove them that maybe you're young, you're just 23, but you have all this amazing world to offer?
Yes, of course, I want to prove people wrong. Yeah, again, it's this fire. I feel like this fire is also really about proving people otherwise, to make them sometimes even like regret their decision making, to like shake up their world and shake up what they thought is right or what they thought they believe in. Yeah.
So how do you like what kind of advice can you give to people that listen to this and receive rejection? Because a lot of people take rejection very personally. So what can you do in order to separate it and not be so personal?
Rejection is personal. You are the person that gets rejection. But I think instead of taking it and see what's bad, see what they missed. Like flip the coin. When you get rejection, the idea is usually you're starting to doubt yourself, and instead of that, be like, what they did wrong to not see what I have to offer. This is what I do. I think it like saves me so much tears, and it makes it like a fun game. Um, it's hard. I'm not saying that it's like the easiest thing to do. Rejections can be, each person with their own baggage, with their own story, takes things differently. But I think maybe if you hear this for your next rejection, try to do this because maybe it will work for you. Maybe you will see that, oh my God, I'm not a problem. Um, and also sometimes like when you get rejection, try to look and see, did I really want this? Like if they don't want me, did I really want this? Like, because as a dancer, a lot of the time we are like compromising for things we don't really need in our life. So yeah, I feel like a good match is a good match usually for both sides. Again, it's not a it's not like a Bible. It's not like this is the only way it is, but I feel like this is another thing to say. Uh,
100%. I think part of being mature, being a better artist is understanding what is inside of you and what you want and how it can meet the thing that is from the outside, the job opportunity, the person you're working with, how you can match those two things. So I definitely agree. I also wanted to pinpoint the fact that you started before you felt ready. You just started doing it. You made it kind of an experiment thing. So what do you think will happen if like artists will stop waiting to feel ready and just start to do? Because I feel like a lot of people, including myself, I was waiting to get the inspiration. I was waiting to be the best physically possible, and then I can create. But one day I woke up and I was like, oh, maybe this day will not show up.
I think waiting is bullshit. Like if people will stop waiting, then we will have much better art in the world. Art is instinctive as much as it's thoughtful. Um, and people don't give enough room for instincts. And it's a big problem, in my opinion, in the art world, that people wait for approval. No, push through, do your thing. Some things are really good, they're just not happening yet. Uh, but they're out there. Yeah.
Sometimes do you get an instinct and tell yourself, oh, maybe this, I shouldn't do this?
I try always. Instincts, I try. I try, even if I'm alone in the room and I have like a good thought, I will open the camera and I will like mark so I remember. I will always try first instincts because I trust them. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Who am I to not give them a place? A thought came through my mind. Who am I to say no to it? The minimum to respect my brain is to try my instincts.
Wow. I agree 100%. It throws me to like as a performer, as a creator, artist, we all have this like fear of embarrassment sometimes, that is holding us back. Like I feel like watching you throughout your path, I always thought that you just don't give a fuck, you know? Ever since I first met you. And I feel like a lot of people, they really, really care and they just don't want to feel embarrassed. So they hold themselves back sometimes they think they just are not talented enough to create, but they just don't go for it.
What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Stop.
Stop
Like
being embarrassed.
stop being embarrassed. Again, it's not like I don't give a fuck. I give so much fucks about my art, but I'm not censoring it. you on, sorry about the cliche, but you literally only live once. So if you will not do your thing, then what are you doing? Like, okay, then don't do art, you know? But if you want to do art, then do art, you know? Stand up and stand your grounds and do your art. Is it going to be successful? Who knows? Are you going to be the next Marina Abramovic? Who knows? Doesn't matter. You need to start somewhere because if you don't start, then you don't go anywhere.
But what's the worst thing that can happen if you put your artwork out there?
Nothing. You will not, you know, like, so, like mad at you. Sorry, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at all the.
No, no, say it. I love it.
What can be the worst thing? Nothing. What is the worst thing? You will not get the funding you want. No one will show up to your dance piece. You know, like what? Like it's nothing. You know, people are doing surgeries and they open hearts and they put heart instead of the other. We are just doing art. You know, like yeah. I don't know. It's not. It's just there is no. Like there are bigger problems. So my advice is do it. Yeah.
Did you always not take yourself so seriously, or do you feel like now as a choreographer, you even take yourself less seriously than as a dancer?
I feel like I take myself very seriously. This is the point, you know, like the idea of like this like going through and showing myself out there doesn't mean that I don't take myself seriously. I feel like I take myself more seriously because I do everything I can in order to do it. You know, the overthinking of what I will do and how I will do and waiting for the right moment of being in the right place. This is for me not taking yourself too seriously. Being serious is committing, and I'm committing. So I see myself as taking myself super seriously. It may come across as if I don't give facts, but I give all the facts. All the facts I have to give are on choreography, you know? I don't have more facts to give.
Do you think you will ever perform again as a dancer?
I just said to Ella, my dancer, in like that we did the duet now in Hanover. And I think it might have been the last time on stage.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I really like to be out. I really like to like it. There is nothing that fulfills me more than watching my things outside. You know, being in the audience, there is nothing like this adrenaline rush. And it doesn't do the same for me when I'm on stage. I get nervous, I don't get excited. And when I'm outside, I get excited, like I'm alive. It's my drugs, you know?
You get nervous when you're on stage?
Jesus. Wow. So nervous. Yeah, I
You
really
think like it happens?
I deal with a panic disorder. So I actually have a lot of fear from the panic. And I have this thing, it happened to me. You remember in Turkey that I couldn't perform? We were in Istanbul.
Or- Okay.
We did Decadence in Istanbul, and I
Okay.
couldn't. How do you not remember?
No.
The curtain was already closed, and I was like, I'm not going on stage. And you did the whole pyramid
Ah, I remember something.
because I told everyone that I feel unwell, but it was a crazy panic attack. And
Okay.
I only did Secus. Um, yeah, so it happened to me already twice in my life that I could not bring myself on stage, and I am fearing. I have a really big fear from that happening again. So actually, I don't have a stage fright. I'm not afraid from being on stage. I'm afraid from having a panic attack while I'm on the stage. Does that make sense?
But it is interesting because I think the source is of stage fright because,
I,
you get the panic from being on stage, then you get panicked from being panicked.
yes, but also no. My panic, I'm in a journey with it. I still don't really understand her
Uh-huh.
so well.
And when you do your choreography, that like you don't get this panic anymore?
No, no. And also, I know that if I get, and this calms me down because when I'm on stage, I need to be on stage. When I'm the choreographer and I'm outside, I know that it doesn't matter if I get panic or not because I don't need to be anywhere, you know? And this calms me down and then I don't get panicked.
Okay, this one throws me to how do you choose your dancers? Because you are not on stage and like we were talking about the panic and you're off stage and actually there are other people that are doing it for you and choosing dancers to work with, that's like giving them a lot of responsibility. So what is important to you when you see dancers that you want to work with them?
First of all, I think I am looking for people who manage to move themselves emotionally, you know? People that I see that are going through a journey when they dance. It's commitment, but usually it also it gives a lot in the body, you know, it goes to the physicality. Um, yeah, I think the first thing really that like drives me in is people that yeah, that people that I really see that they are going through the thing, you know, they're not there to for the outside, they're first for their bodies, that they get alive from moving. This is like I think the most important. Then of course the physicality, you know, like and it's not about high legs and pointed feet. It's about understanding your body in space. You know, like being aware for your body, being aware for your muscles, being aware for your bones, being aware for your ligaments. What we talk in Gaga all the time. Um, and also just nice people. I don't want to work with assholes. I respect my dancers. You know, I there is not a single tour. Okay, I'm going to share this as well, but I think it's a good thing to say. There is not a single tour or performance uh, of Boys in the Sand or of any production that I do that I get one more euro than my dancers. I get paid as much as my dancers exactly
Wow.
because I respect my dancers as much as I respect the choreography. And if I am there, I am equal to them and they are equal to me, and we will get paid the same. And this is also how I make sure that I know my dancers will be happy with their compensation. Because if I am happy with the compensation and we are equal, I assume that they are also happy with their compensation. Yeah.
Wow, indeed. That's crazy because as dancers, our salaries are most of the time really, really not matching how much effort and how much time and like even like the cause of our mind space, you know? So this is pretty crazy. I wonder if it also happens because you're still young and you just got out of a company like 2 years ago and you still find your way. So it's important for you to be on the same level as your dancers.
Yeah. Yeah. Always. Um, it's hard, you know. It's hard because I also, you know, I refuse money from the Israeli government, and it's hard to get funded this day where I'm from. But I try my best all the time. Yeah, to treat my dancers with dignity, probably because I know how I want to be treated. Yeah.
Okay, I have two directions in my mind right now, actually. I do want to ask you another question about your dancers, but you did started mentioning like refusing to get money funds from the Israeli government. And would you like to share a little bit about this? Because right now, being an Israeli artist is not the best times for that. Like, how are your feelings about it?
It's hard. I just had a conversation about it literally 20 minutes before I went on this meeting. It's a really hard topic. If you know me, if you know my political stand, and if you also know what I do, I just finished working for over a year. I finished 2 days ago for Moshe Radman and Ogen Latid, which is a political left-winged uh, party and organization. You know, people don't give a fuck. They give a fuck about the fact that I'm Israeli. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad because I feel like they're losing a great opening for a conversation and also a great way to hear voices that are very close to their opinions, you know? But instead of just letting the voices be heard, they boycott. And then there is no conversation and no um, development development can be made. And this really it just makes me sad. Makes me very, very sad.
Did you experience boycotting on your art because of it?
Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah, when we went to Buenos Aires, um, I was there in the hotel, and there was like I saw this journalist um, posting like I don't want to like go in big names, but a post directed at me for Teatro del Canal for choosing me to arrive to Buenos Aires because it was like a transit like a pieces from Canal going to Buenos Aires. And then she mentioned it. Look, the Israeli dance group is going from Canal to Buenos Aires. But you can check, and you can see that the piece was created in Madrid with Spanish money, that I'm not supported by the Israeli government, that I'm the only Israeli member in the team. You know, like give me a bit more of my respect. And the piece was chosen because it's fucking good, you know? But instead of that, I get a hate post, and then I get so many comments on this post, and people are texting on my posts, never come to Madrid again. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? You are missing the whole point of listening and creating space for conversation.
This is really hard and frustrating. And I actually, I think it was Guy Nativ that said it a few days ago. There was an interview with him, and he's a like a very famous filmmaker, Israeli. So he said that the problem with Israel is that the boycott, the international boycott, comes on the expenses of the arts instead of like boycotting the big industries of weapons or gas, things like that. Like he compared it to Russia, that the world was boycotting Russian industries instead of Russian artists. And with Israel, it doesn't happen the same. And this is why a lot of artists get boycott. And this is a very frustrating situation because I feel like in a world that wants to accept peace and art and creation and people have to look at artists as the messengers of peace.
Also not just, you know, they can be messengers of peace and they can also do art that doesn't connect to the war. What I'm saying is that artists can be representatives of peace, but they can also do art that doesn't connect to the topic. They also have the possibility to create art that doesn't interfere with the war. You know, I am also a person and I can talk about gay porn and I can talk about TikTok culture and I can talk about the war, but I can choose. Let me choose. I am not just a representative of a flag, of an idea, of a political side. No, I am a person. Me as Adi, I also care a lot about the political situation, but it doesn't link directly. Let me be a person. Yeah.
Do you feel like it affects your work when you're creating?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I link things to a political idea. And sometimes I just want to have an art to escape it, you know? Ballet was invented in the Romantic era to escape the Industrial Revolutionary. So let us escape a little bit with dance, like give us this break.
So going back to the dancers, how much is the creation process is a collaborative process with the dancers?
In the mindset, fully. In the actual choreography, I am very I'm giving myself a lot of the responsibility. It's also something I'm learning, like I feel like in Happy Home, it was like 90% improvisation. Then
Mhm.
in
Can
Cheap
you tell us what is Happy Home, just for the people who doesn't know?
was a piece that I made for Bachevanessa's Create in my last season, and it was a much longer piece than usual. Usually you create around 8 minutes, I would say. The piece was 30 minutes. So thank you, Lior, for giving me this opportunity. It was really helpful. Yeah, so in this piece there is a lot of improvisation. Then I feel like in cheap material, which is the piece that Maya was in, I feel like there was like material from a video a lot, right? You learned a lot from the video, and was there a lot of improvisation? Yeah, you had a full song
It
of
was,
improvisation.
yeah, 3 minutes of crazy,
Yeah.
drop dead improvisation.
So still a lot of improvisation, and now I feel like in Voice in the Sand, I've reduced it even more because I'm trusting my abilities. I also love improvisation. I will always use improvisation. It's like always the gag of the show. But I trust my compositions and my materials more and more and more and more. But back to collaborative with the dancers. Mindset wise, 100%. They are there equally to me. There is not choreographer and dancers. It's really like, what do we want to do? What section do we want to go for? Do we want to go get a coffee? But physically, yeah, I take charge.
Mhm. How much do you prepare for a creation process? Do you like draw the whole sequence before you go in the studio? Do you first get to know the dancers and then you start creating?
Very much changing on the process, very depending on what the piece I want to make. So for Boys in the Sand, there was a lot of preparation before because it's based on something else. So I had the time to reflect, watch the movie, understand where I want to go with it, what I want to do with it. But then, of course, when I started, everything changed. But yes, there was a lot of preparation. For a cheap material, again, there was a lot of preparation because I knew the music from before. There was not preparation for the materials, for the physicality, but I understood kind of already the journey I want to take the audience into. And then in Happy Home, we just started and we saw what's up, you know? So yeah, really changing. Usually I draw inspiration from music. Like music is the key for me for creating.
And you come from a background of Batsheva Dance Company and Gaga practice, and you're a Gaga teacher also. So I was wondering, like, right now, most of the dancers that you work with are not coming from a background of Gaga. So I think a lot of your movement, especially working with you, is very influenced by this physicality and the way of using the body. So, do you practice Gaga with them in the mornings? Like, how do you get them inside this world and understanding the body?
Mhm. First of all, through the material, like when we work on the material, there I managed to let them understand exactly the concepts. I didn't teach Gaga every morning. We did like a 30 minutes warm up, which was like a Kaga, as we used to call it. Um, but yeah, I feel like also things comes with time. Things comes with like in Boys in the Sand, we like the two main ideas that we work with are arms coming from here and the moons in the arms and in the legs, which
Can you tell the people that don't know what are
yeah,
moons?
those little cushions here and the cushions on the foot. Um, so these are like the two main things. They kind of carry the whole piece. Like if it happens, if those two, like the arms from here and the moons are alive, the piece works. If not, no. Um, so it's not a lot of concepts, and then we like they each know what they need to search for individually in the piece. Yeah.
Did you feel like it takes some time to like fill the gap to get them into the language, into the vibe?
And they know, I know, we all know, but it happened. It happened again. It happened because I'm not an asshole, because I didn't push on them like you have to do this. I know that it takes time, and it took time, and it happened. Yeah.
What is your relationship with Gaga movement language right now?
I love Gaga, and right now I stopped teaching for a while because it makes me very nervous. Again, talking about anxiety. I see Gaga as the tool for me into choreography. I think Ohad really went onto something. He really understood something that works as a great physical anchor for choreography. Um, but yeah, I'm still wondering with myself if I am a Gaga people person, or if I am a Gaga teacher in order to take it to use the tools on my dancers. It's a big question. I'm still reflecting on it. Um, but I love Gaga from the bottom of my heart. I think it's a great gift to this world.
This is so interesting because I feel like becoming a Gaga teacher, also for me, it was a lot about understanding how I move and like on a deeper layer because trying to, especially teaching Gaga people that are not dancers and have nothing to do with their body usually, you have to really know how to explain them what is going on inside your body.
Mhm.
So it's a deeper level of understanding. So I'm wondering about your arts because you said you are more into working with dancers right now and less teaching people, but just like connecting to your message and choreography. But do you feel like your art is directed to a specific kind of audience?
Not in a demographic way, not like in age type of thing. Um, like I want to believe it's for everyone, but I know it doesn't, and it also it gives me good vibes. The idea that my art is not for everyone, like I'm always hoping that at least two or three people will go out in the middle of my piece. Because
Really?
yeah, every time before a show of Boys in the Sand, I tell the dancers like, let's hope today someone leaves. Because if art is for everyone, then it's not contemporary art anymore. Contemporary art is there to push the envelope, to push the limit a bit. So if I feel like I don't push anyone out of their comfort zone, like I want to make someone feel so much things that they can't do it and they have to get up and leave. If I didn't do it, then I'm generic. Yeah, so it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, and it's okay.
This is amazing. I think like you take the things that we fear the most, like rejection and someone leaving the show in the middle, and you just make them fun. You
Yeah,
reframe
it's
them.
a game again. Like who cares? Who cares? It's just dance. It's just dance and it's art and it's important. It's the most important thing in my life, but I understand that it's not the most important thing in the universe. And the moment that I realized that, I understood everything is just part of this game. And you can really take whatever and flip it around, you know? Like rejection, flip it around. They miss something. Someone leaving the audience, wow, I made them feel so many things that they could not even sit in the audience and just wait for it to end. They had to do the protest or of leaving the audience. Wow, like I made someone move so much that they couldn't handle it. Like all of those things are blessings.
I think it's such a beautiful way, an important way to think about it. And really, to anyone that is listening to this, I think if you accept this approach to your life, everything just becomes so much lighter. And I think effort is something that we all go through. Like, there's no way to escape effort. We're going to be in effort, but we do want to make the effort easier on us,
Yeah,
light effort that we can connect to pleasure, like we say in Gaga, in the most cliche way of saying,
but
but
it
it
works
is kind of true. Like, especially as dancers, as performing artists, being so exposed out there, it's being in effort sometimes. And we want to like peel the layers of shame. We want to like connect to ourselves and understand what is our form of exposing ourselves. For example, I see throughout this whole episode, we were talking about your experience as a dancer turning into a choreographer and understanding that choreography is your medium. Maybe you are not meant to be on stage, or maybe at this point of your life, you're not meant to be on stage.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so just accepting who you are and acknowledging it and taking the things that you're strong at, your strengths, like your amazing traits, and like making them shine even more.
Yeah, I think this is the whole point. Yeah.
So one last question before we will wrap it up for today. What advice can you give to a person, a dancer that wants to create, but they're not sure and they feel stuck and like, what can you tell them?
One word, two words. Do it. Just do it. You will not like it. You can always not put it on stage. Do it. Make the art. Nothing to lose. Easy. That's the answer.
No excuses, huh?
No excuses.
Amazing. Beautiful. Adi, if you have anything more that you'd like to say before we will finish it up for today, anything that is important for you.
Wow, I really think we talked about everything. I'm gonna have a cigarette, maybe three after it. Wow, Imale.
But this is not a recommendation, guys.
No, no, this is not a recommendation. This is a personal problem.
Yeah. Okay. I had amazing time having you. I'm so happy that we got this opportunity to speak and to catch up and also to share it with other people because I think there were so many amazing and inspiring things here today.
Yeah.
And if you like this episode, feel free to text me, DM me. I reply to every single message. And I'm sure you can reach Adi as well and ask if you have any questions. And subscribe to this podcast channel. Guys, every week we have a new episode coming up. And if you have any questions topic that you'd like me to speak about in the next episodes, I'm here to talk about anything that needs clarification or opinions or just like sassy thoughts. Thank you for being here again. Thank you, Adi. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And see you in the next episode, guys. Ciao, ciao.